Now, on a previous video, we fit the front of the Suzuki GS. It's a 1982 with steel brake lines that were donated by Joe PADULA. They're Russell brake lines. It's a separate video just prior to this one, and we want to head out on the open road and get a test for the lever. Felt great in the garage and when we did the final assembly. But there's nothing better than getting out on the open road and then taking it up to a road speed and seeing how that lever feels. And I wanted to get at least 100 miles on today. The weather looks like it's going to be real nice. We had a little rain overnight, and in fact the roads are going to be wet in some spots, but we'll get to do a real world test of how these brake lines work. So early this morning we had some rain, not really terrible, but it put a little bit of a late start on this ride. Really want to get out on the open road today. You know, summer is melting away, but boy, we have had a great summer. And maintaining this bike as good as I possibly can is one of the real joys of ownership. So this will be the first time we get to do a test, see if these work as well as I hope they do. They certainly did stiffen up the lever some, but again, you know, the whole thing here is I would love to have the brakes on this like any of the modern bikes. I don't think that's really going to happen, but we are going to try to make it as good as possible. And one of the next things, I want to replace the rear brake line. That's a relatively easy job. Relative to the front, that's coming up. And I wanted to check and see if I have any lines. I have a bunch of extra lines. Any ones that size. If I don't, obviously just order it. Now Karen just told me the weather for today. The updated weather for today. We're done with the rain, and it's not going to rain anymore. Boy, are we going to find out about this. And of course, Karen's farm has been doing great all summer, and it looks like it's hanging on right to the end. I don't even know how many eggplants we got. I see we got another one up there for today's harvest. But Karen out here every morning doing her hardest. Harvest tomatoes, and we got some string beans still. Just been a great summer. And I hope you have enjoyed sharing our little farm adventure this year. It's really been fun for us. So Karen is finishing up the harvest. I checked the weather, and it looks like the rest of the day we're just going to have some clouds and maybe some blue skies. It looks like the roads have already dried up, but it's getting warm already. Now, I've been in touch with Dallas over the last week, and I wanted to explain. Now, Dallas has an 83, and this is an 86 exhaust system, so I wanted to show him on a video. I had to make that bracket to adapt it. The bracket that comes with an 86 and a bracket with an 82, they do not fit. I had to make that out of carbon fiber. But I do like the sound. I do have the stock exhaust. Of course, I never threw it away. And I like the sound of this exhaust just a little bit more. Got a little bit more of a rumble. And unfortunately, the black chrome on these doesn't last forever, that's for sure. And in our part of the country anyway, I don't know about where Dallas is out in California, but in this part of the country, chrome plating things is kind of unrealistic. I guess when the chrome goes bad, you just live with it. So we're in the peak season of getting cherry tomatoes here. I'm sure we're going to make some tomato sauce soon. And we got some of the very rare orange zinnias are coming out now. We didn't have orange ones all summer. Now we have a whole bunch of them. And the normal, what I call the normal suspects. Time to ride. Time to go listen to that exhaust system for a while. And this bike has a very nice sound, very mellow, and I love it. Right from the saddle when you're riding it, it really has a nice sound. Now, about once a week on my way out to the riding areas, I always have to stop and see Devil's Tower here. In real life, there's a train station right behind it. This is where Route 46 and 3 come together. And they're chopping away at this mountain, making it look like Devil's Tower, and I'm just curious if they're going to leave it there, or if they're going to bring it down to the height, say the height of the train. I don't know why I'm fascinated with that, but once a week I stop there,
And it's an amazing thing. It's like Devil's Tower. One of my favorite little photo stops, the cider mill. This is quite a neat little place. I'm not sure they're still in business, of course. I don't drink cider, so. Anyway, kind of a cool little photo op place, and it's on my way. You can't stop and not take a picture. So it looks like the steel brake lines are working out better than I ever could have hoped for. Joe, thank you very much. That was a very generous contribution to our cause. And well, the scenery today is beautiful. The roads are almost totally dried up from the morning rain. It looks like it's going to be a great day. This is pretty cool. Check this out. If that isn't cool, what a great photo shoot. I'll take some pictures of this. That's pretty nice.
Now, so much of this area that I ride every day is beautifully landscaped and beautifully maintained, and it really is, it just adds beauty to the ride.
And I just know I've had this bike since it's new, and it really has never disappointed me. It has been a good friend. And some of the roads up this way, they just disappear into black, I don't know, the black hole in space. Always nice exploring these back roads.
Of course, one of the downsides of just riding the GS as opposed to the modern bikes, I don't have a way of mounting up the radar detector, and that is a top priority for this winter, to come up with some kind of a system. The only problem is I don't have the system yet, so I have to really be careful.
Now here's one of the sad things and we still haven't totally recovered. If you look over here, there's people with the rugs out. Their basements. We had a really big storm go through here, a lot of water, and we had that on-ray thing. Oh my God. So people actually in this area I haven't still recovered. I still have some wet rugs out in the backyard.
Now, of course, it's totally subjective, but to me, this is one of the most attractive, beautiful motorcycles ever designed, and I have just overwhelmed when I look at it from every angle. It's a beauty to me.
Pretty soon every one of these leaves will be orange, red, yellow. We are coming up very quickly on that beautiful part of the year. And it'll just get nicer every time we ride for about 3 months. Very low traffic, just what we really like. Very low traffic. There's one thing about this bike, I just never get sick of riding it. Long rides, short rides, sport bike rides, or touring rides. This bike does it all. It is truly an all-weather fighter.
Now the Michelin Commanders, the tires that I have on there, when I redid the rims over the winter, I put brand new Michelin Commanders on there. And again, thank you Vlad for that. They just handle great. And this is one of my favorite back road areas. There's some really tight turns here. And yeah, you really have to be on your toes here because the turns are all off camber. And they sneak up on you. You really can't see too far down the road, but it is challenging to do this part of the trip. Now, doing the custom wheels for the GS, that's of course out on my channel, along with 2,300 other videos. You just type in my name in quotation marks and put custom wheels, and you'll get about 250 videos if you're interested in doing yourself a set of custom wheels.
In fact, the sky is getting clearer by the minute.
Now, as we rolled up some miles today, I got more and more comfortable with the lever being a little stiffer than it was. I shouldn't say a little, it's a lot stiffer. And the brakes, very, very, very predictable. Now, I have two GS1100s and only one is registered, but the brakes on both of them, they're adequate for that time period, but I think now I've got these just a little bit better.
And I'm so happy the way this gearing worked out. 16 and 40, that 30-mile ride out to this area is just great.
Today's test convinced me one of the next upgrades I'm going to do to the bike, and I'll be a future video, replace the 40-year-old rubber on the back brake line. Well, we got a little over 100 miles today, and of course we got the boring ride back home, back on Route 80. That can't be a lot of fun. And it is warming up. It's time to get home to the farm.
So I count the steel brake line as a 100% success. We got a little over 110 miles today. And absolutely better lever. Absolutely. Now I know realistically you're not going to make this like a modern bike, no matter what you do to the braking system, short of putting on an R1 front end or something, but I think that's a significant enough improvement. I really think that was time well spent, and again, thank you, Joe. And any day I can make a little upgrade to the bike like this, that's anything to do to keep it as good as I can make it. That really was worthwhile. I'm impressed. And I think the big reason is that rubber was basically 40 years old. And then when you think about it, I think maybe we even ducked a bullet here by taking care of that before we had a problem. So it's been a good test day. It's been a good day, period. Got a good harvest from the farm, a nice ride. I know Karen has some things she wants to do. So I hope you did enjoy the video, and thanks for watching.
Now we do try to post up a motorcycle related video almost every day. And we do try to share it with the friends and people we meet along the way. And we always seem to be adding to that list. We're coming up on 10,000 here very soon, subscribers. And all I can say is I do enjoy sharing it. I do enjoy the editing. And the biggest thing of all, I do enjoy getting out on a bike every day, getting my exercise. I use my motorcycle collection as a way of staying fit. I enjoy it a lot more than joining a gym, which I have no interest in sitting around with a bunch of sweaty guys in bikini underwear and pumping iron. I'd rather be pulling on that front brake lever. And by the way, that front brake, absolutely. Now until I did this real world test, I didn't know if it was going to be as good as I hoped, and it is. And I thought even when it was in a garage, it felt better, but it feels a lot better out on the open road. And I did put it to the test today a few times. Even on high speeds where you would know, if you would know right away if something was going to be wrong. Anyway, but I do enjoy making the videos. I do enjoy sharing it, and I do enjoy all the aspects of owning these old motorcycles. I post something almost every day. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.